Hey guys, Got97 again, once again with some more new loot. This one brought to you by Gunpla Builders Benelux. Links in the description down below. So this Gyan Gya Gyan over here was sent to me by Raffaele from the Gunpla Builders, or as I'm going to call him, the guy who finally made me buy Gunpla in Belgium for the first time in years. Because, well, he actually has competitive prices with the online stores, rather than having those ridiculous prices I've been so very used to seeing over the past few years at conventions. So let's have a look at what's in this thing, because this is the Expo, the Gunpla Expo limited edition, which means it's also going to be very nicely coated. Moving up, also, smiley face. So let's see what's inside of here. It looks like a lot more than just the regular Gyan in here. So, well, this is definitely not something we get with the regular Gyan. These are actual runners from the Valuable Pod. And those shoulders have a very nice bronze effect going on. Also, really nice coloring on those parts. And then, I got doubts. Oh yeah, of course, it's the Valuable Pod, so... solid beam sabers. I almost forgot the reason why I didn't buy the Valuable Pod. Because solid beams. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Alright, now seriously, why couldn't they do this with the actual Valuable Pod? Give us clear beams. The Gyan is known for one thing, and that is his giant beam sword. Also being completely useless at long range, but mainly known for his giant beam sword. Also, something lading. Moving on. Also, just gotta say, that's very nice. And I guess you could also give it a very interesting effect with the shield, because now you can have a clear beam shield as well on your Gyan. That's actually not a bad idea. Interesting. And actually, looking at all this, I think we have a complete Valuable Pod right over here, because yeah, these are the Vulcans. At least I think, yeah, those are the Vulcans. So yeah, we have a complete Valuable Pod along with our Gyan. And this is also very nicely looking gold. Not too bad for the gold I was expecting. And the usual gunmetal gray we also got with the Gundam Seed revised. No, the Gundam Seed remasters, revised are the other ones. And here we have the actual Gyan. Only, not quite as nice as the gold on the Valuable Pod, which actually seems to be slightly nicer than the actual Gyan. But turn it around and we have that same very nice bronze color. I really like that color right there. And, another shield. Interesting. Oh, wait. Where's the shield from? Oh, I see. We don't get a complete Gyan because the beam sabers, well, the beam swords and the shields are going to come from the Valuable Pod. So that's what they did. I see. So that's what they did there. And here we have a manual for the Valuable Pod, because, well, we obviously get a complete one. We have one for the Gyan. And yeah, that's probably... I see. This complete runner is, of course, replaced by the Valuable Pod. And then here, this is... that's right there. And finally, we have one sheet. Oh, yeah. We really needed someone to explain to us to use the clear parts of that, because obviously nobody was going to notice that, and we're obviously going to use the solid beams, as everyone does. Then one final thing that was included was the Gunpla Catalogo Navigazione. All in Italian. I speak a lot of languages. Italian ain't one of them. So let's see what we got here. Story of Gunpla. Oh, finding your favorite Gunpla. Page 6. So let's see. How are they going to tell me my favorite Gunpla? By listing all the different grades, and I'm going to assume... yeah, like all the different... yeah, like kind of what they're all about. The price, number of pieces... and kind of reminds me of those old Gundam Wing leaflets they had in the model, because like, skill level 1, what's your skill level? And oh, the RX-72 in all the different grades. And this is a very interesting model kit, because so far I haven't been able to find it for the original price, only for ridiculous prices on eBay and whatnot. But these 90s high grades with the RX-78-2, the Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, and the Mark II, they're really interesting looking. The head of the RX-72 doesn't look as good as I was expecting, but especially the Zeta Gundam from this line looked amazing. At least from the pictures I've seen, so I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, Revive here, moving on, Build Fighters. And all the machines from Gundam Build Fighters. And yeah, probably the reason this catalog isn't in English but in Italian is that, like, in Europe, particularly in Italy, like old school mechs were really popular, such as Gundam, Mazinger. Like at one of the conventions, I spoke to an Italian guy, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like all the old school mech anime were super popular in Italy, like." Yeah, Gundam, Mazinger, Robo, Voltron as well. So it's really like Italy is like. Oh, here we get to the high grades. Obviously, not all of them. I was kind of hoping for that, like a checklist to see what high grades I already had. Let's see, we get the ground type. Where are the gyms? Ooh, Mark II and gym. There's one gym over there. Let's see, other gyms. Not enough gyms here. Found one gym. Nope. Nah, it's gonna stick with the one gym. Disappointment. Now, the only thing that can clear me of my disappointment is finding the G Savior somewhere in here. That would be awesome. Totally not gonna happen though. Banai probably still, or at least Sunrise probably still tries to act like it never happened. Ooh, Reborn 100s. The ones that have been released. Really looking forward to getting oh my god, the Ifrit Kai. Almost forgot the name there. Here we have the master grades. Very interesting booklet. Once again, just a shame it isn't in my language. All the perfect grades out there. Well, a very interesting little catalog. And that's all for this new loot video brought to you by the Gunpla builders. Of course, well, as I said in the beginning, link in the description down below. So all that's left for me to do now is to kind of decide how I'm going to build my Gyan Gya Gyan. Because, well, at first I thought this was just going to be the Gyan with two shields, as shown on the front. But, you know, adding all the valuable pod parts does make it a little bit more interesting, especially with the clear parts on the beam sabers. Like, seriously, that's a huge improvement. So far, the only thing I noticed is that with this set, the Gyan Gya Gyan would use the normal shields, but we do get the shields from the valuable pod, which have the option to have the beam sabers on there. So I guess in a way it's an improvement, but in another way it's not really super anime accurate. And so far the only thing I can say about that. But other than that, I'm very pleasantly surprised that, well, all of the valuable pod parts are included. And like especially that bronze color, and with like, where are they? The shoulders of the valuable pod. I think those are going to look extremely nice. Just, you know, to kind of break up the more boring round shoulders of the Gyan, because on my Gyan cannon, those shoulders really, well, like just the new shoulders added a lot to the Gyan cannon, so I'm really looking forward to putting this thing together. So, all for this video, and see you guys next time.